What has it been like out here so far with the guys?
It's been awesome, man. The energy's been great. I think we've been preparing the right way. Guys are showing up ready to work, and I really like what we're building as an offense, as a team. Man, it's been a lot of fun.
How have you felt like the offense has been picking up the new offense under Getsy?
I think it's been really good. Obviously not every day is perfect. There's been some ups and downs, but I think more ups and downs. And we're playing against a good team across the ball. Our defense is doing some great stuff, really challenging us, and it's been a lot of fun.
Gardner, you've been in a situation where you've had to pick up a new offense. Are there any tricks to the trade that you've learned to be able to sort of streamline that process from your perspective?
Yeah, I think you kind of learn how you learn best, I think for me it's a lot of like voice recordings, hearing the play and walking through. Drawing it up doesn't do as much for me personally, so I think just figuring out what works for you and then implementing that as much as you need to.
To piggyback off that, Gardner, what's been different about Vegas that's made you feel the most comfortable than you have in the past?
No, that's a great question. Man, honestly, it's the guys, the energy. As soon as I walked in this building the first day that I signed, you could just feel it, from defense, offense, coaches, everybody feels like they're pulling in the same direction and wants to get this thing going the right way, and I think if everybody's on the same page, we will be able to get it done.
Gardner, how would you describe the quarterback competition between yourself and Aidan?
It's been great, man. I think we both put together a good camp so far, man. Been pushing each other, but also just enjoying each other, enjoying our room, man. We got an awesome room, not only with Aidan, but with Anthony and Carter. We're having a ton of fun right now, being very competitive, and I think that's only going to make our team better.
How hard or how easy is it then to find that line between being a good teammate, but also, you're competing, you want the job yourself?
Yeah, I think as any real competitor, you don't want them to be worse, you want yourself to be better, so the better he is, if I'm beating him out, that means I'm just raising it that much more. So that's kind of how I've always viewed it, if he's pushing me and he's completing every pass, I got to figure out a way to do better. So I think that's the only way to really ever improve.
And have a direct conversation about hey, you're a veteran, I understand we're competing, but this is how our relationship is going to work. Is that a conversation that happens?
Not really, man. It's been pretty smooth. I think we had initial conversations, just getting to know each other. And one thing, get to know Aidan, he's a team guy, I'm a team guy. We both want to win, we both want to get better. So there's really not much conflict of interest there. Yeah.
What stood out the most about Aidan on the field now that you've been with him?
Yeah, I think he's super smart and he's super accurate. As a young guy, he really understands football, understands progressions, timing, and man, it's fun to watch him interact with the guys. Man, he has a ton of energy, and it's just a lot of fun to be around.
We know we haven't seen him out here yet, but have you had some conversations with Devontae, and what are you looking forward to most in terms of maybe learning from his angle and one of the best receivers in the league?
Oh, absolutely. No, he's had a ton of conversations with Devontae. He hasn't been out yet, but super excited to get to work with him, man. Been watching, a lot of his stuff with the Packers back with Rodgers. That was a lot of the Getsy stuff, and a lot of the concepts that I've been seeing them run on tape for years. We're finally getting to run and kind of getting the minutia, the detail of what he likes, why they're getting to it versus certain looks. It's been some awesome insight, and just really looking forward to getting into that more.
You spoke on how challenging the defense has been against what you guys are trying to do in progressions and all. So how has that helped you elevate your game?
Oh, it's huge, man. You got to be ready. Typically coming in, you get day one looks, day two looks. It's pretty base, pretty vanilla. Our defense is coming out guns blazing first day, and that really makes you be on your stuff, not only to know what you have on perfect looks, but when things break down, when it's not an ideal look on a play, how are you going to make it work? And I think we've been doing a good job of that through camp.
Gardner, whether on offense or on defense, who has stuck out to you the most so far?
Man, I'd say Christian Wilkins. That dude is running so fast every single play. Wherever the ball is, don't look like you'll see him soon. You know what I'm saying? He shows up. It's really impressive to be around a guy that nonstop works the way he does.
We know the interaction with Max last year, but he's notorious in practice for going after his own guys, just kind of, inspiring some competition, that kind of thing. Have you kind of experienced that?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. It's the first day. I think he's trying to send a message, but I had to send a message back. It's been fun, man. That dude's competitive. He's going to push it to the limit. And like we were saying with everything else the defense is doing, that's only going to make us better. And it makes practice a lot of fun, too.
Gardner, as a veteran in this league for a while, there's been some talk, and the commissioner brought up the potential of going to an 18-game season. As a veteran, is that something that you even think about, or what are your thoughts on that potential? And also, Super Bowl maybe even being moved to mid-February.
Yeah, I don't really think about that too much. I think we kind of signed that away in our last CBA. They kind of got that right from us, and I don't think they're going to give it back. So we'll be playing more games until we, get a little more leverage to be able to do something about it.
What about the off-season program? Do you favor moving everything back?
I don't know, man. I see the pros and cons both ways. It'll shake out the way it shakes out, and we'll show up when they tell us to show up.
I'm going to ask one of the DB coaches if he likes to have his players have communication sort of organically with the quarterback, so there's understanding the nuances. On the flip side, do you like that also, to maybe have a relationship and conversations with the DBs?
Oh, absolutely. A guy like Marcus Epps, I was with in Philly. He's always been a player I respected, a smart player, hard-nosed football player. Like, anytime I get to kind of pick his brain, or if he comes up to me, hey, that was nice, we know we're on the right track and doing some good stuff when you get that overlap.
Gardner, what do you think are some of the similarities and differences between you and Aidan's game that makes this competition so unique?
Yeah, I think one of the best traits both of us have is just kind of decision-making, kind of keeping us on track, keeping the ball moving forward. I think that's been one thing that's, like, on our good days, man, it's just been completion. And I think it's been fun, man. I think we lead in different ways, you know what I'm saying? But both of us, like, take charge of the huddle and get the team moving.
Gardner, just early impressions of Brock Bowers out there.
He gets open, he catches the ball, We're not, like, tackling or anything right now, but after he catches it, he looks pretty good too. So I think, there's a lot. That's the thing. There's a lot of guys out there doing that, getting open and catching the ball. So, man, there's a lot of, exciting times around here, for sure.
Last time we talked to you, you were just getting to Vegas. What's your impressions of kind of living here and being around the city?
Loving it, man. Loving it. Gone to the Sphere, seen Dead and Company. That was pretty cool. Don't get to do that everywhere. But nah, man, it's a great place to live. Live here by the facility. The facility's amazing. Got everything we need here. So, it's a great setup.
Have you become an Aces fan yet?
Not yet. Gonna need to, man. They keep winning. Sheesh.
Last season, you probably played the most in your career so far. What did you kind of learn about yourself through that experience, and what did you set out to improve on this offseason?
Yeah, man, I think, last year is just got to win. No matter how that looks, whether we're running the ball 50 times, throwing it 50 times, defense is playing great, offense is playing great. At the end of the day, you're getting judged for wins and losses, and however you can help your team to do that, I think is, all you can really do.
Anything else?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Questions?
Coming off the season that you had last year, the performance you had as well as you played, like, how different is the offseason, just knowing what you can do, knowing you've done it?
I don't think really anything's different. I think it's just me just focusing on trying to hit the ground running, not losing a step, just more like focus on, like, I know what the baseline is now, you feel me? So, yeah.
What do you think the difference was those final 8 or 9 games?
I think it's just trust myself, just understanding how my body moves, understanding my body mechanics. Like, my rush isn't going to look the same as somebody else's rush, so just understanding that.
Patrick Graham said that you were coaching up some of the youngsters. What does that mean for you to be able to take that leadership role now as well?
I don't know about a leadership role, but I just think that I've been here for a while, so I understand when, like I don't know, it just feels like it was yesterday that I was one of those guys just coming in the building. So I understand, like, certain things that I was missing at the beginning that maybe I can help them with. So,
like you said, Mal, you've been here for a while. You've seen different training camps, different regimes. What's the vibe like this year? Why is it different?
No, it's definitely an amazing vibe. It's great to come to work every day. So, I don't know. Everything feels just better, I would say.
How much has Christian Wilkins added to that vibe, and what's it been like working with him so far?
He's definitely a character. He definitely brings another personality into the room, stuff like that. He's enjoyable to be around, so he's a great guy.
How much more comfortable have you seen Tyree early on so far?
He's definitely more comfortable. At the beginning of last year, kind of felt like he was like Bambi low key. So now he definitely, I feel like he's coming into his own. So yeah.
You talk about the end of last year, just kind of finding the results. Maybe that the process was always there. You just kind of found the results. Was that how much was just? Was a looser environment? Like, it kind of seemed to suit you even at the end of the year.
I guess it's not like. For me personally, I think it was more like not getting down on myself. Like, say if I didn't get home or get a sack or something like that. Like, it wouldn't, like, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, it kind of just made me like get discouraged in a little bit. So I guess it just came down to like powering through that and just like trusting like older guys like Max and stuff like that, telling me like it's gonna happen. Just keep on keeping on. You feel me? So.
How much also was it just getting the opportunity to get playing time, and how were you able to kind of I don't know, compartmentalize the fact that you weren't maybe getting those opportunities earlier?
I mean, yeah, it does come down to like getting opportunities and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's the coaches got to trust me to be out there to do my job. So I think it was also gaining the coach's trust and stuff like that. So.
Was your offseason program at all kind of like your training or anything? Or was you kind of like the same old same?
I'm sorry.
Your offseason, training, was there anything that you did differently to kind of, enhance it, or was it kind of like the same thing, different year?
It's kind of the same thing. If it ain't broken, I ain't trying to change it. You feel me? So.
Malcolm, where have you gotten better at this offseason so far?
I think just recognition of things, just recognition of body position for me, or body position on OT. I would just say that, just recognition of everything.
Is it more of the film studies for you, or something at the time?
Say a little bit of both. I mean, I'm watching guys across the league and seeing like guys similar to my stature, how they get sacks and how they play the game and stuff like that. So I think it's that, and then also like just being out here and really focusing and being present on what I'm doing.
You said that Max, kind of helped you out throughout the years. Were there anything specific that you took away from like his mentorship that has helped you along the way?
I think it's too many to count, to be honest with you. But one thing is just motor, because like sometimes your move won't work, or you might mess up the technique. But if you keep on, like if you got a high motor and keep on going, then sometimes you just make plays purely off of that. So yeah.
You said you've been watching guys around the league. Who are some people that you pay close attention to?
Recently, well, I watch Max a lot, but also like Hassan Reddick, I watch him too. So yeah.
Do you like the current off-season setup? Or would you rather everything be pushed back? Put it all together, OTAs, minicamp, and everything.
I mean, I'm kind of used to this setup, so I don't mind it.
Malcolm, with the talent assembled on the D-line now, do you feel like the expectations in the D-line room have been raised even higher?
I don't really think so. I think we just more focused on, we understand how talented we are, so it's just kind of like understanding, like just taking it one step at a time and just like not getting too ahead of ourselves and trying to win the whole season tomorrow. So it's just basically taking one step at a time, day after day, and just trying to get better at the little things. And pretty much, yeah.
There have been certain expectations, though, year by year. Like this is the year, maybe the improvement. This is where we're going to see that tipping point. Is there a chip on the shoulder, that proverbial chip on this team's shoulder this year?
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of just us being ourselves. That's what I think. Like last year, towards the end of last year, that's basically what it is. Just playing with our personality and being ourselves, and just going out there, just happy to play. So.
As of right now, there's been 4 defensive stars that come out of your draft class. When you look at Trayvon and Diablo and yourself, and Nate, how much of a relationship do you guys have, and how much do you take it upon yourself now to know that you are the leaders of this defense?
I mean, those are dogs, but I don't know. It's just enjoyable just to be around guys that you came in with that, as long as you've been on the field, they've been on the field. So it's definitely a dope little vibe that we got going on. So,
what are you and the defense looking forward to the most this season?
Just playing, balling with each other, and just enjoying our time with each other that we got.
Your position group, coach, hasn't changed, but there has been some additions to the defensive coordinators and guys who played. How important is it to have that kind of experience as guys who's played in the league, also coaches?
Oh no, it definitely is important. It's definitely different when you talking to a guy that's done it before or been where you've been and stuff like that. So I didn't get to know everybody yet though, but I'm still in the process. So.
Set personal goals for yourself in terms of like stats or like anything like that?
Nah, I'm not. If I set personal goals for myself, usually I kind of get ahead of myself, so I kind of just take it like one step at a time.
So. I guess how would you measure like where you feel your progress is?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my dad when he calls me.
What are those conversations usually?
I don't know. It's a lot of coaching involved in this call. So.
How different are those conversations from Pop Warner days to pro days?
They're not very different at all.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Good.
Questions?
So how do you feel things are going so far?
Yeah, they've been good. Up and down a little bit for the offense. Obviously installing a new playbook, and so we've had some good days, had some not so good days, and I think a couple weeks we kind of started slow at the beginning of the week and then kind of picked it up. So we're trying to be consistent, just like we want to be in a game, and but it's been fun to see the progression of our offense.
Considering how you were growing in last year and sort of took over the offense, is there a little bit more of a comfort zone for you coming in? I mean, there's a quarterback competition, but where is your mindset and your nerves at?
Yeah, I think it is a change because it's a new offense, so it's a little bit like starting over. But at the same time, it is my now second year in the NFL. I think all the extra rookie stuff I don't have to do anymore is really a weight off my shoulders. And so, yeah, definitely feeling more comfortable. Like you said, it's obviously a competition, so trying to put my best foot forward every day and do the best I can.
How would you describe it? How would you describe the competition right now?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. Gardner's a great guy, and, you know, he's really what you see is what you get, and he's been awesome with me. I think we do a good job of communicating with each other what we're seeing, you know, what we're thinking on each play, because we are both trying to learn this offense at the same time together, and also at the same time, you know, we are both the leaders of the offense, and so we want to make sure when we go out to practice, it's a good practice, and so we want to make sure the offense is running smoothly and we're executing. So it's been a fun competition.
How hard or easy is it then for you guys to straddle that line between being friendly and being good teammates, but at the same time you're competing for the same gig?
Yeah, I think that's not unique to us. You know, I think that's in any position really, but and especially in this sport, there's only one quarterback can play, and so you know, I think we've both been around long enough, and we've both had to compete really our whole lives, and so I don't think it's really anything new for either of us.
There's been a lot of conversation about what you did in the off season. You were really here a lot and working on yourself. What all went into that?
Yeah, I think you know, me and my wife are both from the Midwest, so I think a big part of it was we didn't want to go back to the cold. We just wanted to stay in Vegas. But obviously, just to be here with our strength coaches in our facility with the resources we have is awesome. And so, yeah, we love this area. We love to be here and to live here, and so we wanted to stay and also get some great work in our facility.
How much did that help you prepare for what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously getting ready, getting my body ready, all the things that go into it, but also, you know, being around the guys that were in the building, and getting some camaraderie with guys maybe I don't know as well throughout the off season. And so it was fun to kind of build those relationships, build the relationships with even the strength coaches who, you know, I got to know a little bit as a rookie, but you're kind of just thrown in the fire. And so just to kind of take a deep breath and, you know, get to enjoy the time at the facility was fun.
And I know it's early June. You guys were getting some red zone work in today, and it looked pretty good. What do you think the key is to making that a better part of the game for the offense this year?
Yeah, I think obviously things get tighter down there, and so, you know, we have guys on the outside and really guys all over that can threaten the defense over the top, and so when you can't, I think details are just that much more important. So I think focusing on the details, I think Coach Getsy has done a great job of, you know, emphasizing that in our installs, making sure that you know, guys are understanding what they're doing and not just, you know, the basics, but to the details, to the nitty-gritty of each play.
Whether it was intentional or coincidental, a lot of action to the tight ends as well. You threw some touchdown passes to your tight ends. How big of a factor can they be, and what kind of comfort level does that create for you?
Yeah, well, I think we have a lot of confidence in really all those guys to make plays. Those guys they're so impressive. You know, they got to run with the little guys and block the big guys, and they got to be really smart too. And so tight end is a really hard position to play, and we're lucky to have a bunch of good ones. So yeah, they do a good job, especially in the red zone, finding open spots.
In regard to the competition, Aidan, is there anything you picked up in the first couple of weeks from Gardner?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, Gard's in his sixth year, and I've only been in one system before this, and now he's been in a bunch, and so he's seen kind of these similar plays taught a different way, you know, schemed a different way, and so I think communication has been open, and again, he offers what he thinks for each play, and I do the same, and I think it's a good back and forth.
What are some of the similarities and differences you've noticed between your game and Gardner's game?
Yeah, I think I would say our stories are kind of both underdog stories, and, you know, having to work to get to the point where we're at. But Gard does a great job, like I said, commanding the offense, caring about attention to detail. He knows, obviously he's been around, so he knows how important the little things are to playing quarterback and for the entire offense. And so, yeah, it's been fun to just get to know him, and yeah.
You have one system with 3 coordinators now, and like barely a year.
Yeah.
I guess to hear the different voices, how difficult has that kind of process been?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a change, but again, it's not unique to me. You know, some guys do that in 1 year, and even less than that. And so it's just trying as fast as I can to really steal time back and try to continue to go over things over and over. And so, you know, the more you go over them, the more you'll feel comfortable with them, and they won't feel as foreign. And so just trying to study as much as possible to try to get ahead. You know, I try to recap the day and also get ready for the next day.
kind of coming to the end of OTAs and the off-season program. Next week you got the mini camp, and then it's over until training camp. Where's the balance for you in terms of, you know, still wanting to kind of stick with it and stay with it, and trying to take a break so that you get that necessary break?
Yeah, I think it's a hard balance. This is my first full off season in the NFL, so still figuring out that balance. But I do love football. I love to work at football, both physically, mentally, all the things that go into it. And so I think I'm trying to find a good balance of spending time with my wife, spending time just with friends and family, but also knowing that this is my job, and this is a job that requires bringing it home with you. And so sometimes that happens, but I definitely have not found that perfect balance yet. I'm still working on it.
So you're gonna stay around the facility after minicamp? You're gonna head home, or are you
we'll be most of the time here. We'll be out for a little bit, but for the most part, we'll be here.
Hey, if you can go back to the question, Adam's question about the three systems, is it a matter of you fitting your system, your style into a system, or changing your style to fit within the system?
Yeah, I think it's kind of both. I think, again, Coach Getsy does a good job of even saying to us, he wants to make it comfortable for us and wants us to, feel comfortable when the play is called. He wants to know what we like, what we don't like. But at the same time, there is a system in place, and they believe in what they do, and that's what we're all buying into what's being taught and trying to execute at a high level. So I think it's a balance of, like you said, being myself and finding how I'll fit in this offense, but also understanding the system is in place to, obviously make yards, get first downs, score touchdowns.
Gardner was saying like every quarterback he's been around has different ways of kind of sinking in a new offense. He was saying he likes to hear a voice memo instead of like the traditional scripting and plays. Everyone has their own tricks. Do you have anything like that? What kind of tricks do you use to kind of learn a new offense?
Yeah, I think the voice memo that's definitely helped me this year. I record my voice, record the scripts, and play it back to myself, and just try to go over it. I think that's the the realest practice you're going to get, is hearing it back and trying to act like you're breaking the huddle and going to execute a play.
Had you fought to get onto Max's podcast, or did that kind of happen surprisingly? Or?
I did not fight. Max just one day invited me on. I don't even remember. I think he was rolling out or something, and just asked. He actually, I think, asked if I want to come on the pod, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then it said podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. So that was super fun. We shared some good memories on there, because we played Max when I was in college, and they beat us, and that was a bad day. So it was just a fun time to kind of go down memory lane a little bit.
Aidan, I know arm strength isn't really thought of as something a guy improves on once he's made it this far to the NFL, but just looks like you're really driving on those throws between the numbers down the field. Do you feel stronger in your arm? Do you feel like your arm talent just in general is improved in year 2 as compared to year 1?
Yeah, I think I'm always trying to improve. I'm definitely not known for like over the top arm strength or anything like that, but I think you can make improvements, and you can get better. And I think definitely trying to work this off season to be functionally more strong, but also understand my motion better, working with quarterback coach, just a bunch of things that are important that I think go into playing quarterback. But I think I'm trying to improve on every aspect of the game, but throwing the football is definitely high on that list.
Let's do one more.
You'd said that you weren't going to take this opportunity for granted after last year being put into the position of starter. How's your mindset really developed from that moment to now?
Yeah, I think trying to continue that, trying to be grateful for where I'm at. I get to play football for a living. I get to do it at a high level with a really cool organization that's, bought into winning. And so, trying to do my best to, like I said before, put my best foot forward. And, I continue to say it, but find the balance of, reflecting and being grateful for getting to this spot, but also, trying to look ahead to, I want hopefully win a lot more football games.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.